Hello there, everybody. We get prepared to move into the last full week of January. And yeah, be prepared because at least up here in our neck of the woods, it's going to be pretty cold by the end of this week. Coldest weather that we've had all season so far. Well, I'm sitting here still kind of moaning just a little bit over the Bills' loss in the AFC Championship game, but you know, Kansas City, you have to hand it to them. Good job, good job. But hey, let's move beyond all that and let's take a look at the psalm that's going to be appointed for us this coming Sunday, which will be Epiphany 4, the fourth Sunday after the Epiphany. It's Psalm 111. What makes Psalm 111 unique is that it's one of a couple psalms within the Psaltery that is an acrostic psalm, and we've talked about acrostic psalms before. They're ones that take letters of, in this case, the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, and you work through those in order. And in the case of Psalm 111, as in the case of Psalm 112, each word, each letter of the Hebrew alphabet begins the first word of each line of the psalm. So there's 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. There are 22 lines in Psalm 111. Why these, you might ask, is that important? Well, it's just that it was a way of being able to memorize this psalm rather easily so that as you're coming in to worship, you'd be reciting this psalm, you'd be singing it. We don't really know exactly how it was used. Could have been a leader said one line and you said the next, and then they said the one after that, then you said the next. We really don't know. It could have been done in many, many different ways. But let's just take a look at just bits and pieces of Psalm 111. When you look at it, it starts with praise the Lord. Now, that's not really part of the psalm proper. You'll see that over the next couple of psalms. And these psalms are all kind of clumped together because they were used as part of worship as you entered into the temple area. But the very first part starts, I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. That's the first line. So the psalm is one of giving praise to God. Giving praise to God for what? Well, that's what's talked about in the different parts of the psalm here. And it's reflective of the people's Exodus experience. Not these people. This you'd be talking about their ancestors and their experience of the Exodus. All right? Talks about how full of honor and majesty in all of his works, how his righteousness endures forever, how he is gracious and merciful, how he provides food, talks about his covenant. See, all those things are Exodus type events. So it's kind of loosely organized around that, but it's making it contemporary with the life of the people right now. This was very probably written after the people had been in exile in Babylon. Now they've been able to return to Jerusalem and they're reflecting. They're reflecting on this new exodus that has occurred as they've returned from exile in Babylon. And it's also kind of in the genre of a wisdom type of psalm, simply because of what comes at the very end. A very familiar verse for a lot of us. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Hey, you've heard that one before, haven't you? Of those who practice it, all those who would practice it have a good understanding. His praise endures forever. So it's it's one that encourages the people to praise, but also encourages the people to fear, which actually the word might be better translated revere. Revere the Lord. Revering the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Honoring Him, giving Him praise, giving Him His due worship. All those things are part of Psalm 111. Now, what's interesting is this talks about all the great attributes of God. If you look at the next psalm, and we're not going to do that right now, it's Psalm 112. Go ahead and read it. It starts out picking up on that same theme of happy are those who fear the Lord. And it reflects Psalm 111, except it's not talking so much about the attributes of God, but it's talking about the attributes of those who fear God, who fear the Lord. The two Psalms go hand in hand, and Psalm 112 also is an acrostic psalm. Starts at the beginning of the Hebrew alphabet, moves right through to the end, 22 lines. Now, just want to point out one thing. You're looking at it now and you're saying, hey, there's only 10 verses in Psalm 111. 10 times 2 is 20. Where do you get 22? Well, each verse has 2 lines, except when you get to verses 9 and 10. Each one of those verses has 3 lines to it. Gotcha there. So that's why it comes out to that even 22. Well, God's blessings be with you. Enjoy your day. Enjoy this week coming up. We got a lot to talk about as we see and moving toward this Sunday, and we see Jesus beginning his ministry of teaching and healing in Galilee. It's going to be a fun ride, folks. Hang on, because it really moves fast through this Epiphany season. God's blessings be with you.